Rock and roll, daddy! Hey, Bob Squad. Welcome to the first Hardest Part of the Ring podcast in over 3 years. We have a lot to catch up on, so let's start with May of 2023. Let's not do that. Let's never do that. I'll explain why later. Who cares? Let's talk about WWE Raw on Netflix, the popular streaming service. I'll send you a link, put a link in the comments if you don't know what Netflix is. You can't talk about Raw without talking about Clash of Italy, the premier live event. I watched it on ESPN Select because I am in the United States of America, LOL. For a Backlash, I watched with a VPN. It's a virtual private network, for layman's terms. And Netflix doesn't really seem to be accepting my VPN turn-on thing, so it kept shutting off and it wasn't really working, so I had to go back to ESPN and pay way too much money. Be that as it may, let's do a quick, in-depth, really serious recap and review of Clash in Italy from Sunday, June 1st. A lot of people thought it was bad or okay. I thought it was okay to good. Okay, moving on. Monday Night Raw, we open with the Bloodline. The fingers are in the air. The fingers are in the air. All the Bloodline can determine which way the wind is blowing by sticking their fingers in the air. And Roman Reigns soaks up 7 minutes of adulation before he tells people to acknowledge him so they can give him 7 more minutes of adulation. Then Fatu, Jacob to be exact, he is unhappy because he lost the match in Italy at the Clash, and now it was tribal combat, which means no rules, but you're Samoan. So it actually does. I'm not kidding. Pardon me, Daddy. So Jacob Fatu is very upset, and he eventually reluctantly acknowledges the Roman Reigns as his tribal chief, and now everyone has more fingers in the air, and they wave them like we just don't care, because to me there was a few interesting things about this, but not enough interesting things about this to make it all worth it. It's odd to me how the Usos, particularly Yeet, he's a bad guy now, I think, or acting like one, definitely. It's really hard to determine. And Jacob did have a great line, I lost to Roman, not your punk ass, or something to that effect. So that was interesting to set that up and down the line, but nobody really wants to, the live crowd, not Twitter, stop it. The live crowd, they don't really want to boo the Yeet Man, so that was peculiar. But anyway, after a very long time, we are stuck with I can't really call it a nostalgia or a tribute act to 2 years ago, or 2020 to 2024. More like, it almost looked like an AI render of the group from a few years ago. Because basically Jacob is just doing the solo role, or it looks like he is in the solo role. Just Solo isn't in it. Solo was off in the crowd, they said. I think I missed that or something. Maybe I was eating ice cream. Baskin-Robbins has Wild and Reckless Sherbet. The sherbet is both wild and reckless. I don't know if you tried Baskin-Robbins Wild and Reckless Sherbet, but it was bananas. I've had it a few times. I gave Chloe, one of my dogs, a few licks. She woke up with a lampshade on her head. Odie, my Chihuahua man, he woke up, he was hanging out with some cholos or something, and there were these women in my house refused to leave. I think some cash was missing. It was just, the sherbet is both wild and reckless, so be careful with Baskin-Robbins Wild and Reckless Sherbet. Be that as it may, yeah, it just looks like they did the Bloodline, but Jacob is in the role where he was always supposed to be. Okay, we'll see where it goes, but now they're all acting like heels again. It wasn't Roman the baby face. I don't know who's good and who's bad this entire time. The crowd's cheering for both. It doesn't matter. They're cheering Fatu. They're asking if you all know what you mean, and then they're acknowledging the Reigns Roman and his tribal teeth. Have you seen the tribal teeth? He's got big ass tribal teeth. I'm not even making fun. I want those teeth. I want Roman Reigns' teeth. So I think the teeth, in a way, are the 5th member of the Bloodline. the Qatar brackets. Oh, King of the Ring, my bad. The King of the Ring, they showed this big, million man and woman bracket thing, and I thought they were going to have all these peculiar singles matches. Like one of them looked like it was Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan, but then I found that it's just a bunch of four-ways, and I don't even remember if the announcer said the winners of the four-ways have to compete in other four-ways or some sort of inevitable singles match. Excuse my voice is going. Hardest Part of the Ring is brought to you by Dr. Pepper Zero. Excuse me 1 second. Dr. Pepper Zero has none of the sugar and half the calories as regular Dr. Pepper, but the same great zesty Dr. Pepper taste. Okay, drink Coca-Cola products. So then they had a four-way in the King of the Ring, and someone advances. Obafemi was in the match, and I think you could figure out who cares who else is in the match. Obafemi was going to win this. Of course, he's coming off the loss to Brock Lesnar at the Clash in Italy. All right. Sorry. I forgot before doing this that my notes are completely illegible. I farted. Obafemi wrestles Carmelo Hayes and Penta, who is the Intercontinental Champion, and Solo Sikoa, LOL. Penta is the Intercontinental Champion, so he doesn't really need to advance in this, and I guess this is a way when they do these 4- and 3-way qualifying tournament things. I've heard that it seems to be a common notion that Triple H doesn't like certain matches, like the Elimination Chamber, for example, because everyone except the winner has to get beat. So I would get why he doesn't want to beat everyone on the roster and so these 4-ways give at least 2 of the 3 guys who don't advance, at least 2 of them get an out. So okay, I get it, but it really does kind of take the luster out of advancing. So it's like everyone just won by chance until 2 guys or gals wrestle at the end. Yeah, I don't know. Carmelo was selling wacky. Carmelo Hayes, he was sitting in the corner like you're going to get a stink face, which is how you reference things, the people who were born during the Attitude Era. But Penta's about to do the headstand off the rope, kick to the thing, and blah, blah, blah. And Carmelo's waiting like way too long, and instead of pretending he doesn't know it's coming, which I would think you would do, let yourself get surprised because the dude's above you, why would you know that? He's looking up and just shaking his arms, flailing. He's just flailing. He's flailing there, like I don't understand. And then he takes the move. Like he didn't even, I don't know. Like he had time to move. He's a very athletic man, Carmelo Hayes. So why can't Carmelo move? I don't understand. I think Carmelo Hayes is smoking the purple haze. How could you stare at it for so long there, fella? And Penta got all kind of pent up there. But he did not win the match. But Obafemi did sell the arm from the night before, which I like. And he eventually gave Solo, the biggest guy besides him in the match, he gave his big pop-up finishing maneuver there, which I thought was a good touch to have Oba, pick up the biggest man in there and do the biggest thing to the biggest man in the match. So I enjoyed that. Sol Ruka, good gravy, heavens to Murgatroyd, heavens to Betsy, every which way from Sunday. I appreciate her cool surfer mom vibe. I don't know. I'm not into the Sol Ruka thing. It's not the controversy over her finishing move. We can talk about that another time when she has like a match that we cover. She's another one in her song. They put in an oh. There's an oh in her song. So Seth Rollins has the oh whatever the hell it is, and Becky Lynch used to have the oh, and they took away her oh. So now only one half of the married couple has oh. And now Sol Ruka has oh, and doesn't Sami Zayn have the oh? Everyone's got an oh. It's like back over the years, everyone's had some version of a positive affirmation. Like Daniel Bryan had yes. Jim Neidhart had yeah, baby. Paul Bearer had oh yes. Randy Savage had yeah. That's 4 right there, and I know I'm missing some. Oh, LA Knight, Mr. LaKnight. He has yeah. And Austin gave you a hell yeah. Everyone just has a positive affirmation historically, or now they have whoa. Oh, Cody Rhodes has whoa in the middle of his thing. That's 7. Everyone's got an oh or a yeah. Thank you, Randy Savage. He had both. That's why he's the greatest of all time. All right, let's snap into the rest of this review. Sol Ruca, I'm taking too long. She's a cool surfer mom, and and then she said some words, and there's glitter on her face. And the interviewer and Sol Ruca both had microphones, which is hilarious. I'll use this Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar as an example with half the calories and none of the sugar of regular Dr. Pepper with the same zesty Dr. Pepper taste. Where Kathy Kelly, was it? Or the other one, I don't know. She would, Sol, you have a question? I am Kathy Kelly. Oh, I am Sol. This is water. It's not the same water as you're used to. This is double water. It has, every molecule is 2 atoms of hydrogen and 4 of oxygen. This is 2H4O, so it's different. Hey, I got a question on the interview, or I got an answer on the wrestler. Why wouldn't you just... So I don't know what everybody's problem is. I think somebody just ordered too many microphones. They're supposed to order 20 and they ordered 200, and now they just feel they got to use them all just to make do. Like, stop buying your microphones in bulk. Or Kathy Kelly had to go to Costco and get 98 microphones. Roman Reigns is watching a video of himself. Roman Reigns is watching a video of himself staring at Cody Rhodes. And then he tells Jay to go win the match or something, or win the King of the Ring, the Cotter match. And then he tells Jim, stay with me. So that was nice of him. Anyway, there's a tag team contest of some sort. Shout out to Danhausen, I love him. Excuse me, I burped, but he isn't. Danhausen's not on the show. Rey Mysterio. He is he is a Hall of Famer, and he is active, and he is the general manager of the AAA Mexican promotion. Rey Mysterio teams with Dragon Lee, and they wrestled the team of Ethan Page and Rusev. And Rusev has this Bangaranga thing going on, and he's wearing a t-shirt for the first minute of the match to remind you to buy the Bangaranga t-shirt. It looks like this is trying to replace Rusev Day as the really silly thing you attach to Rusev, but for some reason, I don't know. For me, it works. I don't really mind. Penta is still the Intercontinental Champion, and he's backstage with Adam Pearce. And Penta goes to the hour right, Pearce's right, hour left. And then from Pearce's left, hour right, comes LaKnight. And LaKnight accuses Adam Pearce of being an unofficial Bloodline honorary Uce member. And Braun Breaker is stretching, and he has AirPods in. And I don't know what he's listening to. But there's nothing I can do. It's a total eclipse of the heart. That's what he was listening to. But turn around, bright eyes, because we got another 4-way coming. Io Sky, Roxanne Perez, Giulia, and Lash Legend are in a 4-way to advance for the quoter, the Queen of the Ring tournament. Io Sky is victorious here. Lash Legend, this is the story of the match, because this had a few commercial breaks in it, I think. Or did it? Maybe I'm wrong. Lash Legend is strong. That's important. Giulia has Italian roots. I guess she grew up in Italy for a bulk of her life and had some history there, which I did not know. I'm goofing a little bit, but I'm big on her. I think something will happen with her. I don't know if she's permanently on Raw or they just needed, just like Carmelo Hayes, I don't know if they just needed to shove a few over for this thing. I don't really know, but I'm big on Giulia. I think there'll be something. I think she'll find a thing. Like Io Sky, after years and years, people liked her, but when she found the pointing thing, people start going banana. And I think Giulia will find a thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know why she wears a raccoon tail either. I don't know. It's just like she just really likes Super Mario Brothers 3. Use the P-Wing to get past level 8-1. A commercial break. Use DoorDash and watch your favorite historic WWE moments replaced by food items. Io dumped Roxanne on her head into buckles and some kind of level. I got a text message. Why am I shouldn't be looking at this.
Don't be a maggot. Give Bob a follow and go see him perform in your area. And that's an order.
Io Sky dumped Roxanne on her head in this sunset flip into the buckle thing, and Roxanne looked like she bashed her neck on the middle buckle. I know Bayley does one of those sunset into a buckle things, and I don't dig them. These are even worse than the Seth Rollins buckle bomb thing. You notice Rollins, I'm going to jump ahead, when he does it, he started sticking his head out to the side of to look to see where he's dropping you, which is nice. That only took him 13 years of TV to do that. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't big on the drop each other's neck into the buckle thing. I don't like it. That goddamn tower, I wrote down goddamn Tower of Doom spot. Every 3 or every 4-way, and sorry, the women are more guilty of this. The women do this every time. The men do it most of the time, but the women do it every time. Someone has to do some kind of superplex thing where somebody's power bombing the person doing the superplex, and 3 or 4 of them all go down in a heap. And Lash Legend was the one on the bottom, of course, the powerhouse who got the good end of that, and it never wins the match. So they all do it, and it just takes 5 days to set up. Anyway, eventually Io Sky hit her, the genius of the Sky. She's very smart up there. She hits the 1, 2, 3. She pins Julia, and blah 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 blah. So Io Sky is advancing the quarter match. Adam Pearce is still back there, and Maxine is there too, and Maxine is upset for not being in the quarter match. And then Otis and Tozawa, who are friends with her now, for what reason? What are they accomplishing? They don't like her hanging around Austin Theory, and she says, don't worry about it. So we might bring back the romance angles in the Monday Night Raw thing, or not. I don't know. Will Maxine join the Vision? Oh dear. Oh dear. But I wouldn't be surprised if Otis and or Tozawa become someone for Austin Theory to beat up. It looked like they were trying to build him up after Logan Paul got hurt, but I don't know. Or just a one-off so Braun and Austin can run through Tozawa and Otis. It's one of those angles to keep you busy, but we're not taking it to the premier live event. Danhausen of some sort is on ESPN. There's a big thing about him and the Knicks, and he cursed the Cavaliers, and the Knicks, it's an NBA basketball team associated with New York City. So Danhausen is doing great. He's all over ESPN. He's playing with all these ESPN hosts and messing around. And he was at the MSG itself, and they gave him a Knicks jersey, and he was at the whole event. So he's all over the place. He was hit mainstream after like 3 months of being on WWE TV. Good for him. Bayley and Lyra are backstage. Everyone's backstage, all one at a time too. It's amazing. And the cameras left Bayley. Bayley's in an interview, and then Lyra gets distracted because someone was shaking shiny car keys or something. And Lyra goes to talk to somebody, Sol Ruka. She congratulates Surfer Soccer Mom. And the camera followed Lyra, which is ridiculous. Why would the camera leave the athlete's interview about the tournament just to follow Lyra? So wouldn't Lyra just go off camera? Wouldn't it make, if it were real, wouldn't Lyra stay off camera until someone eventually? And then Bayley had to go chase her down, so there's going to be a thing there. And Lyra was kind of politicking. She was working the nets. She was rubbing elbows, greasing palms. She was hiking Mount Social there, Daddy, trying to get perhaps a future title opportunity with Sol Ruka. Who knows? Judgment Day is still there. Judgment Day, Vision, and now the Bloodline are all 3 heel factions on the same show. That's going to be interesting. Judgment Day are still there, and Roxanne is sad because she was not victorious. Liv is happy because she feels that she will be victorious. And then Liv seems to be manipulating and kind of rubbing elbows, or rubbing people the wrong way, rather. Seth Rollins enters. He has giant sunglasses. He looks like your aunt just got glaucoma surgery. Seth Rollins milks the song for 8 days. Oh, I can't get it in my head right now, but you get the idea. There's a lot of O's. Oh, whatever it is. And that takes and the European crowds. it's nice to change things up once in a while with the singing and the chanting, and you just know certain, right, like a Seth and a Roman are going to take even longer. I think the nice thing about it is that when a Raw or SmackDown is in Europe, the European crowds don't bother with the what chant. I appreciate that, because that's, if you do the what chant, you don't have a brain. There is no brain in your skull if you do the what thing. You don't count. You have a negative IQ, because there's nothing in here. You don't count as a human if you do the what chant. You're very, very stupid if you do it. I don't like it. But I'll take the singing over the what, I guess. So fine. Braun Breaker enters with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman looking intense. The announcers called it a rubber match. Because I guess Seth beat Braun like 2 or 3 years ago on NXT, and Braun just won the thing at the Clash. That's a little stretch, but we'll go with it. Seth Rollins, he flies over the barricade into 3 fans who are in great shape and all fell down at the same time. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you know what I mean? A commercial break, eat DoorDash. Ooh, wacky something. What did I write down? A wacky double clothesline. Oh yeah, Seth jumps off the announcer table. Braun Breaker jumps off the ring apron, which is the hardest part of the ring. And they didn't take the bump like Logan Paul and Ricochet did at the Rumble a couple of years ago, but they kind of just crumbled. Okay, whatever, just worth noting, something different. A little silly, but commercial break again, so this was a 3-segment match at the least. Braun jumps off the table. This is pro wrestling. You have to count until 94 to be outside the ring. So Braun goes for the spear. Seth hits the pedigree from this. Seth has amazing timing. I love watching him wrestle. There's a lot of other things I'm not a huge fan of with him, but I love watching him wrestle. I'll say that. Montez Ford without Dawkins. I don't even know if they mentioned him. Montez Ford comes out to fight off some interference, so Austin Theory shows up to take large bumps, and Montez does the front dive over the things, so the small of his back can graze the shoulder of Austin, and la la la. Paul Heyman puts the foot on a rope of Braun Breaker, he's been getting slightly more physical lately. Oh, we'll get to that. I'll get to it right now. And Braun Breaker does the big run around the ring spear, and sure enough, Seth moves, and Braun takes Paul Heyman through the barricade. That was something else. Then Seth Rollins has one of his enemy's tag team championship belts clutched. Braun Breaker, inexperienced, foolishly spears Seth Rollins and knocks himself out into that belt, and Seth gets his win back, which he needed. 1, 2, 3. And then they just went off the air, which is fine. We don't need an aftermath for everything. It's kind of, we got the Paul Heyman taking a thing through a barricade is the biggest thing. So end the show as soon after that as you can, is what I would imagine. I'm sure years ago when Solo and Friends, 2 years ago, they put him through the table in Madison Square Garden, I think it was. Like, that was probably I don't remember, but it was probably the last minute of the show. It had to have been. So whatever. So I don't know what they're going to do. Tease some kind of, obviously, problems with Braun and Paul, but Paul Heyman's not going to show up on TV a week after Braun spears him through a barricade. He's going to be gone for a little bit, at least 2 shows, I would think Paul would be. And Braun would probably have some kind of arguments with Austin, I guess. Or I don't know. Oh, that's the thing. Good, I don't want to know. That's the most interesting thing on a show. And I'm a Jacob Fatu guy, but the bloodline thing, I'll stay open-minded. We have to get out of here soon. This is too much. So anyway, final thoughts on the Raw. It left me with questions, and it had a big, impactful ending. Pretty good Raw. I tease things, but what do you want me to do? Drink Pepsi Zero. Dr. Pepper Zero. Old habits for some of you old-time listeners. Do I still know the song? Maybe I still know the song. See if we can do it. I'll put a picture over this because you don't want to see me actually singing and snapping along. That would be stupid. All right. And a 1 and a 2. It's the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you go over the top rope and you bang your head on the ring apron. Don't do that. That's when you feel like a big dope. They're the worst bumps you can be taking. Oh, it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you get trapped in a headlock. You're worried about smearing your lip gloss. Shoot her off and take the shoulder block. Do the drop down, give her the hip toss. Oh, it's the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. Now double claps. Clap, 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 clap. The hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da. Next week.
I pity the fool that don't like and subscribe. I ain't got time for your jibber jabber, but Bob does, so leave a comment, or else you're dead meat, sucker. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to give the like button a flying elbow smash. Freak out, doing the thing, yeah. Yeah.